Today I'm going to be sharing you how to wipe code your next AI SaaS the right way. Everyone is saying that AI will replace developers, and I used AI to build this permaculture application on mobile phone in less than 3 weeks. So as you can see, this is the app. So it's a permaculture AI app that helps farmers identify pest diseases, helps them deal with insects, and then helps them to plan their crops. As you can see, it is a very comprehensive app, and I built this using the help of AI in less than a month. I'm talking about the complete stack, the front end and the back end, all in 1 month. So it has a complete setup. It's not just a mock app, it's a production grade application with payments and everything all hooked up. And I'm going to be sharing you my strategy and my blueprint on how I did this. So I used ChatGPT 5 and Claude Code. You can also use Gemini Code, but I didn't use it for this project. But I found that Claude Code, when used with ChatGPT, is the best combination. And I'm going to give you a simple framework and the tech stack and then the prompts that you can steal, so you can go from your idea to launching your MVP this weekend or in a couple of days. Once again, so I built this permaculture app in less than 30 days. That includes the front end stack, the back end stack. It's live. It's not just living on my computer. You can go download this app in the App Store and Play Store. So the first blueprint step that I want to share with you is that you need to set up your ChatGPT. So first, ChatGPT that you're going to be creating is a ChatGPT prompt engineer. So I'm going to be sharing a link to a Google document where I have these instructions, so you can check it out in the description below. So the first prompt is you just copy this one and you go to ChatGPT. I use the desktop version because it's much easier and it performs better in my experience. And you would just create a new chat, and then you would paste in this chat, this prompt. Basically that says that you're a prompt engineer, you know how to create prompts based on user requirement to fine-tune AI to be user's assistant. So just paste that, and then once it's pasted, you can rename the chat that gets created as chat prompt engineer or whatever you want. I called it AI prompt engineering task. So once you have that done, you're going to use this prompt engineer to create a system prompt to create two assistants. We need a software developer assistant, and we also need a business analyst assistant for this for your idea. So copy this second prompt. You go this time not into a new chat, but open the prompt engineering, and then you would paste it here, asking it to create a detailed prompt for you. Okay, as you can see, the prompt is very detailed, comprehensive, and even lists out the qualities. This step is important because with AI you need to give it a role. If you just start using it without any feedback, it's just going to hallucinate. This, in my opinion and in my experience, it helps the AI to perform better. So you can copy this prompt that it created, you'd go into a new chat, and then you would paste it, but of course you're going to have to clean it up a bit. Let's see. Yeah, that looks good. So just paste it there. And right now this AI has acknowledged its role. And you're going to be creating another prompt for a business side of things. So now you go back into the prompt engineering task here, and then you would paste this command here to create a new prompt for a for an entrepreneur assistant. Let's copy that, give it some time to load. Okay, so perfect. And once again, you open up a new chat and you can paste the command here to create this assistant. Okay, so now you should be having 3 chats on the sidebar. You have an entrepreneur, you have the prompt engineer, and you have the app developer. Okay? I want you to, the next step here is you need to validate your idea and get the API endpoints. I'm already building a second app where it's going to help YouTubers to grow their YouTube channel. So it's halfway. I already finished the step 2 and also have the architectures in place. But for the sake of this video, I'll be validating the idea and show you what I did for that. So I'm gonna open up the AI that I already created for the YouTube assistant app. So as you can see, I go to the entrepreneur AI assistant, and then I just basically told it that I have this idea for a SaaS that helps upload YouTube videos. It takes a raw video that is of a free form talking, and it targets creators who speak in front of camera. It removes the dead space automatically, and the filler words adds a nice transition. Helps with SEO, and it posts automatically to the social media channel, and also writes a blog post. So this is a common problem that many YouTubers have, especially if they're doing it all by themselves. It takes a lot of time to edit the videos and also to distribute the content. It can be time consuming. So I thought this AI assistant, this AI SaaS, fills a gap. So I did that, and then it started to, ideate and bounce ideas back and forth with me, and I asked it to do a deep research to check out the competition to see if there's anything out there that's solving this problem. You can do the deep research feature here. If you press on this and ask it to research, it will do the research for you. Basically, the goal is for you to check the market, to see what is out there, to read the competitive landscape, to refine your ideas. And once you have your ideas refined, you can ask it to create a sample endpoint. So let's see. Okay, so once you have the idea, from here you export that idea, the refined idea, and then you would go back into the developer assistant that you created. And so this is the developer assistant that I created for the YouTube app. And I explained, here's the idea that I have, and then I asked it to implement the architecture for me, and then like in a rough timeline. You don't have to go with the recommendation of the architecture that it recommends. I usually go very agile and slim at the beginning because I don't want to really have all this stuff in place, like the ECU and then the Amazon Web Service. Like, I feel like it's a little bit too much of an overkill. I'll go over the my architecture in a bit, but mainly I want you to understand at this point is that you get the endpoints, minimal endpoints that you need to tell Claude to develop the first version of the app. All right. So speaking of the architecture, I told you that I like to go slim and I like to launch fast. So I go with for the backend, Python FastAPI. It seems to be the best option for AI SaaS because Python is an excellent programming language for AI tools. It has lots of support and lots of libraries, especially LangChain and Soup, the beautiful Soup, and then there's a bunch of different libraries that's going to be helpful for you. Like there's also like a built-in libraries for scraping, so that's why I like to go with Python. And also it's pretty easy to launch it. There's service like Render or Railway where you can connect your GitHub repo straight, and then just like that your app backpoint, the API endpoint could be live. So this is the rough overview of the architecture. Every mobile app has a backend and a front end. So front end is what the user sees. It could be a mobile application, it could be a website, right? And the backend are the API endpoints. So if you look at my API endpoint that's currently hosted, I have for the permaculture app, I built all these endpoints. I have an endpoints for profile, getting the credits, validating the receipt, getting the products, bookmarking. So any time you on the app you send a chat or you process an image, you have to call a specific endpoint. So you don't want to necessarily have the AI processing on the front end. That needs to be on the back end, because if you have everything on the front end, your app is going to be super slow. So that's why if you're using the wipe coding platform, it's not the best, because although you may be able to get an app or something, it's not optimized. And this is how like big companies and developers, they structure their app. So there's a back end and there's a front end. The back end handles all the logic, the business logic. The front end simply calls it. So for example, let's just say on this app, to give you a specific example, let's just say you want to ask this AI a question about how to eliminate red fire ants. Right now, this question is being sent to the backend, and the backend is the one that's using the OpenAI, that's using the LangChain, that's also consulting the specific database of the books I have to gather the insight, to build the information, and it simply sends it to the front end. So the front end, all it does is it takes the user's info, sends it to the back end, and the back end does all the heavy work and sends the response back to the front end, like you saw here. So this makes the app more light, instead of you doing everything on the app. Like it's just going to be too much resources. Like it's not ideal to do that on the mobile app, because mobile app by itself is resource intensive. If your app is using up a lots of resources, the user experience is not going to be the best. So that's why I recommend you go with this setup for your app as well, to launch it quickly. You can either use Firebase or Supabase to for your database and for your authentication. Firebase is more popular, but if you want something cheaper, you can go with Supabase too, because the Supabase free plan is very generous and you don't have to pay much. Whereas Firebase, you may have to put your credit card information, and that could what can I say, that could discourage many people because they don't want to get charged unnecessarily if they have some bug that's calling up a lots of API. There's an issue there, but with Supabase you don't have that. So you can go with either of those and then create the backend code using Python and FastAPI, and you can host it on Railway or Render. And for the front end, if you're going with website, the most popular the tech stack is React or Next.js. And for the mobile app, if you want to target both platforms, just go with the React Native. It's a good support and faster to launch on both platform. And by the way, this app is built using React Native. So the fourth step is, once you have the endpoints in place, we need to start developing the application. And for that, you would first need to have a GitHub repository. So you can go to github.com. So GitHub, for those who don't know, to give you a quick crash course, it's a version control system. So it helps you to keep track of the changes in your code base. And this is what the industry and many companies use to keep track of it. So to give you an insight about how the development looks like. So this is the code for the perma map, the backend code. As you can see, there's over about 79 comments. And it goes back, the first commit is, I just want to see when I started. May 10th is my first commit. And then I just recently launched it. May, June. So the backend took me about two months to create the backend for this app using AI. That was lots of work. I had to test everything, and then the front end was fairly quick. So the front end took me 1 month, and the back end took me 2 months to do the development. Anyways, I brought you over to GitHub because I wanted to show you how you can create the repository. So for that, you'll go to the home screen. And you can go to new repository. You can call it test repo 1. And you want to make it private. That's important because you don't want your code base to be public. And here it tells you what you need to do to create the first commit. So you can just follow that. If you're on Mac, these are the commands, and for Windows, I think it's going to be something else. So go through this, and then once you push it, you have your repo in place. So I'm going to show you what you need to do after you have the repo in place. So to do that, you're going to have to create a directory on your computer. So if I go to my documents, here, repo 2. So here all I did was just created the directory called the test repo 2, and then I went inside that. So this is basically like go to file, new folder, test repo 3, and then going in there. That's what it essentially is. And then once you're in the directory, you can follow this command to initialize the the repository to GitHub. And after that, what you need to do is you can initialize Claude in this directory. All you have to do is just type in Claude, and it will initialize that, and then it will show up here. And from this point onwards, all you have to do is copy the endpoint and tell the Claude here's my idea, uh, here are my endpoints, and here are the endpoints. Create the first patch for this product, and it will go through the document and then it will create the first endpoint for you. And a couple of secrets with Claude. First, I'd like to always just keep the plan mode on. I don't want the Claude to edit the code without consulting with me. I need to know exactly what changes are being made. And if you're not a developer background, then I guess you can just trust it and let it just by default go on the autopilot to edit the code. But I feel like this tutorial is mostly for people who have some experience with development. They know the command lines, they know what a GitHub is. So it's for those kind of people. If you are a complete beginner and you have no idea about coding, this could be overwhelming for you. But this is for other developers out there, and I'm just sharing the way that I have my workflow set up, and this has been helpful for me. So if you are a developer and you want to create your AI SaaS and you want to use Claude and ChatGPT, you can copy my workflow to help you out. And of course, testing is you can test the endpoints with as you develop with Postman. I'm going to delete this. It's not. I'll cover testing on another video on how to use it, but this is my general workflow to get an AI SaaS up and running. Hope you guys find it useful. If you want to learn more, comment below. And if you want me to touch on specific topics, you can comment below as well. If you liked it, please press the thumbs up button and also subscribe for more future AI vibe coding videos. Until next time, be fearless.